Hi everyone, Aaron here for Zollotech, and iOS 13 has a lot of different little changes and tweaks to it, and many people are excited about dark mode, but I wanted to go over 5 changes that I find to be my favorite after using this since June, and some of these you may not even realize exist. And dark mode is not one of my favorites. In fact, it's something that I think is convenient at night, but it's not something that's one of my favorite features. So let's go over my 5 favorite from least to most favorite. And the first one has to do with maps. And maps is not very exciting, but it does keep getting better and better and adding features that Google Maps had before it. And I like it because it's a little bit more secure. There's less information going out. And if you go to an area that has these binoculars, if you hit the binoculars, this is very much like Google Street View, but instead let's expand it out here. It's much more fast and fluid, more like you're driving down the road, although I'm driving backwards in this case. But you get the idea. We can turn around very fast and fluid. And here is Apple Park. I'm just driving by it. And it's really nice, simple and straightforward. And it will even give you different traffic signals and things as you zoom in. It will let you know how the traffic is, tell you the air quality. So it's really nice. It's a very clean interface, and I like it quite a bit. Now, the next thing is Photos. Now, Photos has a lot of big changes to it and some small ones, but there's a couple little ones that I like in particular. So let's go into Photos. We'll go into For You, and For You compiles things, again, very similar to Google Photos, but it's all kept secret and private on this device. So if I go into Charlotte, you'll see there's a bunch of pictures I've taken with different phones for tests and things like that. And maybe I'll go in here and we can zoom. But one of the things I like quite a lot is if I go to my albums, go to a recent photo I took in portrait mode, we can go to Edit. And under Edit, we can adjust all sorts of things from lighting to exposure. We can darken it. In fact, that's more what it looks like stock. I brightened it up a little bit. You can change brilliance, and you can change the lighting on any portrait that you do. So this saves me a lot of time. Instead of having to export it or use a different app, I can do this all right here, and it's quite good. So there's a lot of different finite adjustments, including in the camera. We have a bunch of different portrait settings that we now have that are more helpful, such as your f-stop. And we had those before, but now that we've got all of these things combined, I just find it to be much more useful, and it's a one-stop place for all of your different adjustments. Now, another thing people are very familiar with at this point, and that's the quick path keyboard. So if I go into Notes, and then I can say, hi, how are you today? And this is getting better and better. The quick path keyboard makes it very easy just to swipe around and put in what you want. Now, swipe has been around for a long time, but I like that, again, it's secure and private on your device. You're not sharing any information with someone as far as what you've typed, what you've said, and it's just kept right here. So that's really nice. Now, the next feature I think is incredibly helpful, and I discovered it by accident, and that's in Mail. So let's go into Mail. And in Mail, you'll see I have a bunch of different test email. And what you can do, I found this by accident, is if you hit Edit, you can tap on one, but now if you want to select all of these, of course you can just select all of them. There's a couple different options for select all, but maybe you want to only select a couple of them. Instead of tapping, just drag your finger. And I found this by mistake. I put it in select or edit mode and just drag your finger. It's incredibly fast. Maybe you have a bunch of them. You want to select or unselect. Again, you can just do that very fast, zip through your email and get rid of them. Of course, you can do edit, select all, and trash, or move and mark, but I really like this feature, especially if there's just a few I want to get rid of like that. So I find it very, very helpful, and I haven't seen anybody else mention it. It's not in the previous version of iOS, so this is a really nice feature. And there's a bunch of other features now that they've done if you want to reply. But if we want to reply, we can change everything from fonts to whatever we want. And I just find Mail to be a much better experience now. Now, my favorite feature is one that may sound a little bit goofy to some people, but this gives me hope that Apple may be returning to some of its roots. And what I mean is in music. And the reason I say this is because Steve Jobs was very big on music and cover flow and presenting different art from artists. And so if we go into a song like this one here, while I can't play it for copyright reasons, what I can do is show you my favorite feature. So we'll hit the play button here, and this little button, if it has it, is the lyrics, and they go through the lyrics as they're singing the lyrics. And then if you want to jump to a different part of the song, tap on that part of the song, it jumps to that part of the song. This is one of my favorite and most Apple-like features that I've seen in a long time. There's a lot of other features, of course, but this one I really like, and I find I use it a lot because I used to look at lyrics a lot, fill out some of the lyrics and things like that, and it's just one of those features that is a little tweak and refinement that you don't see elsewhere, and I really enjoy that. Now, iOS 13 has two more features I wanted to go over that you may be familiar with, but I find are some of the best features out there. One of them is specific to iPadOS right now, which is just a rebranded iOS 13. But let's talk about the first one, and that's under accessibility. So you go into settings, go to accessibility, and while this is not specifically something I will use constantly, I find it to be one of the best features for those who are disabled or maybe just need a little extra help, and that is voice control. So if we go into voice control and we turn it on, now I can use my voice to control my phone and tell it what to do. Go home. And you'll see it just went home. Open settings. And now we're in settings. Turn off voice control. And now voice control's off. And this feature is phenomenal for those of you that have trouble typing. Maybe you have a debilitating disease where you can't move your hands very well or type. You can do it all with your voice, and it's incredibly accurate and very nice. Now, not everyone is going to use this, but I think it really helps. And you can even tell it or teach it your vocabulary so that you can maybe put in a phrase that you want it to recognize that will do a special command. So there's all sorts of really great features built in, and it's something that's not only on iOS, it's on iPadOS and macOS Catalina. This will be great for those that need that sort of assistance. And then the last one has to do with external drives. Now, if you have an external drive with iPadOS, you just plug it in, you use the Files app, which is great, and you can just see all of your files. Unfortunately, I'm not able to get it to work properly with iOS yet, but it is a feature on iPads and, of course, Mac as well. So that hopefully will be coming to iPhone. If I can get it to work, of course, I'll make a video about it. But let me know your top 5 features in the comments below. Those are my 5. You may not agree with them. That's fine. I just find those are the ones I like the most. But let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you'd like to get your hands on this wallpaper, of course, I'll link it in the description as I always do. If you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you'd like to see more of these videos as soon as they're released. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. As always, thanks for watching. This is Aaron. I'll see you next time.